So you want to be rich, but you've got zero motivation to make this happen, right? I mean, I can't blame you. During the summer, I was in a massive rut. So how do you go from being a couch potato? Maybe you spend your whole free time watching Netflix, playing video games, chatting up with friends, going on dating apps, and you want to be rich. But you understand to get there, you'll need to actually work on your business, obviously. So how do you go from this state of laziness to suddenly waking up at 5 a.m. every morning, going to the gym religiously, and working on your business as long as you need until you reach your damn goals? Look, this isn't about a new secret productivity technique you've never heard of before. Because if such a thing actually existed, we'd probably know about it by now, don't you think? Instead, what you need is to use dark motivations. Look, on this channel, I promised to give you the raw, honest truth about what it takes to go from zero to making 10k, 15k, even more per month with your business. A business that you can run remotely on the internet while traveling the world, spending time with the people that you love, only having to work a few hours a day instead of 15 hours a day for the rest of your life, hoping that maybe one day you'll have climbed the ladder and you'll be making 10k per month. And because I have to be honest with you for you to get results, I'm gonna tell you things that you don't want to hear. And the people who just close their eyes, block their ears, and don't want to hear these things, well, these people, my friend, they're never going to get rich, ever. But if you're still watching up until this point, that tells me you actually want it bad enough to do what it takes. Congratulations, you are now part of the 1% club. The 1% of people who are actually going to roll up their sleeves and put in the goddamn work until they get rich. Because it's easy to want money, right? It's easy to dream of the fancy private planes and the fancy vacations, the 5-star hotels, but it's hard to just wake up at 5 a.m. for months, even for years, doing the boring work, the repetitive work that no one else wants to do. The thing you really have to understand is that if you want more than everybody else, you're going to have to do more than everybody else, because common efforts will only give you common results. If you just follow the same path as everybody else, you study in school, you get your high school diploma, then you go to university, you get massively in debt for these overpriced degrees, which don't even guarantee you'll ever get a job in the same field, and then you have to work your way up the corporate ladder for the rest of your life. If that's what you want, if you could find a career that you genuinely enjoy and that pays well, by all means go do that. But if you just want to be free, and your goal is to build wealth, you have to be a business owner. You have to be the one calling the shots. You'll hear tons of people online telling you can get rich quick, you can make 10k per month quick. And sometimes you can. I mean, I've helped people grow their businesses from 0 to 10k per month in literally just 90 days. That's 3 months. So your life can change in 3 months, in 6 months, in 12 months. It absolutely can. But I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. People who tell you, oh, it's the easiest thing in the world, they're full of shit. When you start something new, it's always gonna feel weird and uncomfortable. When I first started going to the gym because I wanted to become stronger and more muscular, I didn't like it necessarily. It was difficult. I didn't like doing cardio. And then because I kept at it, I started gaining results. I started enjoying it more. And that made all the difference. So you've got to ask yourself, what do you want the most? If right now you're in a rut, you've got no motivation to work on your business or to do what it takes so you can make more money, ask yourself, well, why are you in a rut in the first place? What's really blocking you from moving forward? You know, 99.9% of the time, what holds most people back is just lies that they tell themselves without realizing it. You tell yourself, I don't have enough money. You tell yourself, I don't have enough time. Or you even tell yourself, I don't know how to do it. Well, all of these are lies and excuses, because if you don't know how to do something, can't you learn it? I mean, really? Yes, you can, especially when it comes to making more money. Everybody in the world can make more money. Why? Because money is a man-made resource. It's not like you were trying to achieve some kind of impossible goal of maybe becoming the best basketball player when you're 4'11". That would be difficult, right? But when it comes to building a business, making more money, there's no law in the universe, there's no physical thing preventing you from actually succeeding at it, actually making your dreams come true. And if anything, nowadays more than ever, it's never been easier to get what you want, to make money from anywhere in the world. And especially after all the lockdowns in the world, now more and more people started to work remotely. Even corporate companies started to offer more and more remote jobs. And that's great, because it means you can work from anywhere in the world, which gives you so much more flexibility, so much more freedom. But there's also a downside to it, because now you're no longer competing with the local Joe. You're competing with the best people, the best talents in the whole world. So while it's never been easier to win and to make more money, it's never been harder to. But there's a way you can beat 99% of people. And the first thing you need is to use every source of motivation you can. Don't let other people shame you for your desires. Maybe what you want is just feeling power, feeling like you're a successful person, in control, somebody who's powerful. Because maybe when you were a kid, you really felt like you were hopeless, powerless, like you had no control over your life. Maybe you were abused by family members or treated like shit. It's okay to want revenge on your past, on certain people and on life. That's how we move forward. Now, I'm not saying go beat up your enemies. I'm saying use any source of fuel you can to get yourself to do the fucking work, because nobody else is gonna do it for you. No one is ever gonna care about your goals and your dreams more than you. No one's gonna put a gun on your head, wake you up at 5 a.m. and force you to work on your business. You have to do it yourself. And look, I practice what I preach. You can look at how many videos I've posted on this channel. Now, most of them are shorts, but like I've almost posted 700 long form videos, and the channel still hasn't blown up yet. Do you think I'm gonna quit? Like seriously, do you believe after putting this much effort I'm gonna fucking quit? On the best business model ever? On the best way to earn money, which is building an audience, selling digital products, etc. You think I'm gonna give up? Because I'm not there yet? People who give up just don't have what it takes. Now, it's okay sometimes to fall back in a rut, to lose motivation, to do less than you did. However, you can't stay down forever. Being down is fine, being weak is fine, but staying down and staying weak is not. If you'd like to learn from me, you want me to show you how I've built $1,000 a day in profit business, only working 5 to 15 hours a week, check out the link in the description when you're done watching this. I've made a free video in which I'm going to share with you my 3-step process so you can replicate it. And for a limited time only, you can apply to book a free call with me or a member of my team, and we'll see what's blocking you from making more money. And if it's a good fit, you might get the opportunity to join my premium mentorship program, where I'm literally gonna hold you by the hand until your business is making 10K per month or more. Spots are very limited because I'm doing this myself and with just one team member. So as soon as you're done watching this, check out the link in the description. Don't miss your spot. One of the best ways to get out of a rut and to do the work you need to do, even if it's boring, even if it's repeatable, is actually to stick to a simple routine. We're so used to watching movies where heroes or the main protagonists literally save the world in one heroic moment. In real life, things don't happen like that. A movie is like what? 1 hour long, 1 hour and a half, 2 hours long? They can't possibly show you everything. Even when you see the hero or the main character training for months, it's like in 10x speed, it's all sped up. You only see maybe 30 seconds of it, of them training in a camp or something. In real life, you won't feel each day go by, you won't feel each month go by. And it's funny how time works, because sometimes time flies by, whereas sometimes it feels like you're just waiting for years, even though it's only been a few months. So time is relative, but the best way to get out of a rut is to first use dark motivations, use any source of fuel you can, because if you don't have a strong reason to do the thing, to do the work, you just won't. That's how human beings work. The reason I never did my homework back when I was in high school is because it was useless for me. I knew I wasn't going to go to university, so I couldn't care less if I got the degree or if I didn't. Start with an easy routine. Start waking up 1 to 2 hours earlier. Start doing deep work on the most important task within your business. Like honestly, if you can do this for 5 to 10 years, you won't be a millionaire, a multi-millionaire. But most people just don't have what it takes to stick to it. They want fast results and they just give up, that's it. Now there's a big mistake you have to avoid, and it's trying to do too much from the start. The reason I'm telling you to stick to an easy, simple routine at the start is because if you try to do too much, you won't burn yourself out. Like really, believe me, I've tried so many damn times to change my life overnight, to go from being back then this anxious, shy kid who couldn't even just message people on LinkedIn, like to offer them his services because he was too afraid of everything. I went from this to working like consistently 12-hour days, getting up at 5 a.m., going to the gym every single day, never missing a session. But that didn't happen overnight. As long as I tried switching from this lazy passive state to this active, dominant, ruthless state overnight, I always failed. You have to start small, implement one habit at a time. And in the moment, it's gonna feel like you're not making that much progress. But over the course of a year, and 5 years in the future, 10 years in the future, you will be so far ahead that 99% of people will wonder how the hell you've done it. To them, it will look like you are an overnight success. But there is no such thing as an overnight success, believe me. The other thing I did to get out of a rut was to remove all instant gratification activities from my life. Look, if you can't do the work right now, the boring work you need to do to succeed in your business, it's not because you necessarily don't know what to do, or you're not smart, or you're not talented, whatever. These are most often excuses, because even if you don't know what to do, you can just figure it out. I mean, I'm giving people the opportunity to a free call just so we can help them to figure out what's missing. And maybe offer a solution if we can. What the hell do you have to lose? Nothing. But you've got everything to gain potentially. Most people just won't take risks because they're little pussies, that's the truth. So when you remove all easy instant gratification activities, playing video games, watching movies, eating junk food, etc., and the only option is to do the boring work you have to do, then your brain will choose between being bored, which it absolutely despises, and doing the work. So you'll actually do the work for once. Now, I'm not saying you can sustain this forever. You honestly can't. It's fine to, after a long day of work, watch a movie or play some games. As long as, of course, you've done everything you needed to do for the day, and this doesn't become a slippery slope where the next few days you do no work at all because you're so busy playing games or watching Netflix. You have to be very careful to not let these instant gratification activities drag you down. And the level of sacrifice you'll have to make only depends on how much success you want to have in the first place. If you want to get to 10K per month, you don't really have to sacrifice that much, because it's not that crazy, to be honest. If you want to get to 100K per month, you'll have to sacrifice a bit more, but you will still have a ton of freedom. If you want to get to 1 million per month or 10 million per month, that's where you'll need to really start sacrificing for a while. If you want to learn from me, you'd like me to hold your hand step by step, show you how we build profitable digital products business online, click the link in the description below, watch the free video and book your free call before all spots are taken. Now, if you try all of these things and you still can't do the fucking work for some reason, there's one secret weapon left in my arsenal. I've spoken to hundreds of people just like you, people who didn't like their 9-to-5 job, people who didn't like their studies and they wanted to build a profitable business so they could become financially free. And guess what most of these people had in common? They chose to stay where they are, to keep struggling with the same problems, even though it's pretty painful. Going to a job you hate every single day is pretty painful. Like, let's be honest. Not having enough money to pay for the things that you want is also pretty damn painful. Always being stressed in your mind because you don't have enough money, or at least not enough of it to be free, to not worry about the price of everything, to budget for everything constantly, that sucks. Let's just be honest. But then, how come if these people are in so much pain, they still won't do what it takes to change? It's not because they're not in pain. It's because they're not in enough pain. That's the truth. You might be in a shit ton of pain right now, but if you're not doing anything, you're not taking any action, like watching videos only doesn't count. I'm talking about taking daily ruthless action. Then the truth is, you're not in enough pain. No matter how painful your current situation might be, it's not painful enough yet. That's why people typically have what we call a breaking point. It's the point where they can't take it anymore. It's pretty sad to say, but your current situation has to be so unbearable, so horrible, that you will wake up every morning, early as hell, working on your business, going to the gym if you want to get fit, etc. It's only when it's going to be painful enough that you'll actually do it. Right now you might be too comfortable. You can be in a rut because you've never done things before, so it's hard to start, but you can also be in a rut because you're too comfortable. Comfort is the biggest enemy of change. If right now I put you in two different scenarios. Scenario 1, you were going to lose your home if you didn't work 12 hours a day and you woke up at 5 for a year straight. You'd work really hard. You'd work your ass off to not lose your home. But if I told you, if you wake up at 5 a.m. for a year straight, you work 12 hours a day for a year straight, no weekends, and by the end of the year, you'll have made 100K. Some people will actually do it, yes, because they really want it, but most people won't. They'll give up. Why? Because people will do more to avoid a negative outcome, feeling pain, than they will to gain a potential positive in the future. That's how human beings are wired to be, so you can't really blame yourself for it. However, you have a consciousness, you know? You can realize that and just make yourself do the things that you need to reach your goals, because no one is ever gonna come and hand you 100K on a silver platter. Everybody that speaks to me is very ambitious. People want to go from 0 to 200K in 1 year. And then these same people, they won't even take the risk. They won't even start their business. They'll go back to watching YouTube videos. I'll tell you, you can watch YouTube videos all day long, but you still won't be rich. Why? Because you need to take fucking action. And preferably don't do it alone. Everything I've learned, I didn't just come up with it myself. Everything I know about business, about content creation, about anything, I learned it from others. I'm not a native English speaker. I learned English from other people. You can't do everything alone, it's just not possible. And even if you could, it would take you so much longer. So why would you waste more time than is necessary? If you want to learn from me, check out the link in the description below. There's a free video that will explain my 3-step process and how we print money with like 90 to 98% profit margins. This is not your BS dropshipping method, whatever. This is different. I'm sharing with you what works, what all the other people are doing online, and none of them are daring to tell you about it. But I'm pulling back the curtain and showing you everything. And for a limited time only, you can apply to book a free call with me or a member of my team. We'll see what's blocking you from making more money. And if you qualify, you might get the chance to join my premium mentorship program, where I'm literally gonna hold you by the hand until your business is making at least $10,000 per month consistently. Now go ahead and do that quick, because we have very limited spots. Links are in the description. Now with that said, I'll see you on the other side.